Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co., and I just got back from Pax Unplugged and wanted to talk about my favorite experiences there. Usually I try to do a video before the show, trying to show you the hall and all that stuff, but unfortunately I wasn't able to this year because, well, when they were setting up, it was too much in the setup phase, and I don't want to send a bunch of videos of cardboard boxes and booths halfway through being set up. Either way, let's go ahead and talk about the games that I played, my favorite experiences, games I'm looking forward to, all of that from Pax Unplugged. And I'm going to go into my 10 favorite experiences, ranked from 10 all the way down to 1, my favorite experience. But before I do that, let's talk a bit about some games that I didn't get a chance to play, but did get a chance to see or hear about all of that, and games that I am excited for outside of having actually played. Some of them I've seen, some of them less so, but let's start off with number 5 over here. Number 5 is going to be Terraria. Terraria is coming to you from Lucky Duck Games, or more specifically, it's coming to you from Paperfork Games, who work with Lucky Duck Games, but they previously did Octopus. And Terraria is based on the video game of its name, that two-dimensional Minecraft, and it looked fun. It looked like it could be an interesting experience. I've always wanted a Minecraft real board game, not one that's more of a gateway experience. Hasn't happened yet, and Terraria seems to be, I think it'll still be accessible and gateway, mid-range, whatever, but not like a mass market experience. But I am excited to see how that one manifests as far as the actual, the levels, the cards coming down as you slowly descend into the ground, the various bosses you're fighting against. I am excited to see what happens with that one, but that's going to be Terraria. Then there's Defenders of the Wild, which I didn't get a chance to play myself. I know some people who got a chance to play. That's from Henry Audubon, who's actually the designer of Octopus, so there's a little bit of a link there. But Defenders of the Wild is going to have you taking on a bunch of factions in the game as you try to rise up against the machines, effectively, who are trying to swarm into your woodlands. I've heard good things about the game. I'm excited to play it. That's going to be Defenders of the Wild. Then there's Apistrocacy. Apistrocacy, not aristocracy, but effectively Apistrocacy is kind of in that Victorian era. It's a game that's going to have worker placement and trick-taking to try to give you that, obsession kind of feeling, but very, very different experience as far as the game goes. This one actually recommended to us from Things Get Dicey from Paula Deming, was recommended to she had played the game and she said it was very good and all that stuff. So I'm interested in it from that alone, plus good graphic design, good art, mechanics, all those things combined to a game that I'm interested to see what happens to it when it comes to crowdfunding in 2024. Or at least I think it's coming to crowdfunding in 2024. Then there's Earthborne Rangers as my number 1 over there. Earthborne Rangers, and actually, I'm realizing now I forgot one. I forgot, oh my gosh, I forgot Conquest Princess Fashion is Power, which I didn't get a chance to play, but I did get a chance to see the new stuff. But either way, Conquest Princess Fashion is Power is going to be thrown into as a magical number in the mix. That's coming to you from Fight in the Box Games from Seppi, and that's going to be, it's one that I've played on the channel, covered on the channel. I believe I'll be covering it more. There's some more scenarios for the game, so I will be covering it more at some point soon. That's Conquest Princess Fashion is Power, which brings me to my actual number 1 over there, which is Earthborne Rangers. This is one that I regularly ask people. When people stop me at the show and they talk, I usually ask them, what's your favorite game experience? What's the favorite thing you've heard about or played at the convention? And Earthborne Rangers was one of the most consistent answers that I got from people as we went through the show. And that's one where I didn't get a chance to play myself. I did get a chance to stop by the booth and see the game. I am excited for it. It does look very compelling, very interesting, and having that many people who have played it, who got their hands on it, and who liked it, that's always a good sign. That's going to be Earthborne Rangers, my number 1 most excited for, but didn't really play. And with that, let's go into the 10 games that I played. The 10 games I had a chance to play. Most of these are newer games. Some of them aren't even out yet. But there are some older ones that I just happened to play at PAX for the first time. There's one from, I think, 2019 or 2017 or whatever it is. So 1 or 2 older games in the mix, but mostly newer ones. And these are ranked in order of my least to most favorite, excited, whatever term you want to use over there. But number 10 is going to be Arkham Asylum Files. This is an escape room virtual reality experience, augmented reality experience. It's augmented reality. You can be holding your phone as you show various things and see the world come to life around you. But the game was very compelling. I saw it on crowdfunding a while ago, kind of wrote it off as, hey, not my jam, expensive, augmented reality, a whole bunch of things I don't really need. And all those things remain true. But the fact that the game is resettable, the game could be played through and then given to someone else, or I believe they have plans for download packs or more content for the game or things like that, so you can reuse the content you already have. But effectively, Arkham Asylum Files was, magical might be the wrong term, but it was compelling. It pulled me into the experience as far as I was holding my phone on the show floor, trying to look at the various things as things came into play. I like augmented reality in general, and combining it with an escape room experience did make for a fun time. So I'm excited for Arkham Asylum Files. That's my number 10. My number 9 is Appropos, or specifically Appropos of Board Games, designed by Peter Hayward. coming to you from Button Shy Games. Appropos is a small box game that effectively gives you a small wallet game from Button Shy that gives you 18 cards and forces you to try to constantly narrow down what game you're thinking of. So you start off with a concept, you know, it has meeples. Okay, great. Once again, it has meeples, Carcassonne. Then you draw a new card and it says something like, you know, named after a city. Okay, named after a place. But because Carcassonne is named after a place, that goes into the not category. So it has to be has meeples, not named after a place. I still gotcha. Kingdom Builder. Kingdom Builder has meeples? I don't remember. It has cubes, maybe not meeples. What games have meeples? What games? Carcassonne has meeples. Why can't I think of any? Stone Age. Stone Age is not named after a place. Then you draw another card, and you keep going down this pattern up to 5 cards. We are making the selection of the game harder and harder to come up with, and sometimes you do it and you feel accomplished. It can be played solo, it can be played as a group. Sometimes you do it and you feel accomplished. Other times you feel like you just really can't find a game that hits that exact criteria. Plays with 2 players, named after a place, it doesn't have cubes, and I don't know, whatever criteria it is. You sometimes get locked into patterns that are just too hard to come up with, but ultimately it's a very rewarding experience. My number 8 is Twinkle Twinkle. This is coming to you from Levity Games, and this is still a prototype phase. I don't know what the plans for it are, whether it's going to be signed or who knows what, but Twinkle Twinkle is a little scoring game. We have a bunch of small little tiles representing stars and spaceships and black holes and asteroids, and you ultimately just place them down onto, I believe, a 4x5 grid, if I recall correctly, trying to come up with the best combination of scoring in that grid. So that's going to be a Twinkle Twinkle. Enjoy that one. It's light, it's simple, it's not going to break anyone, it's not going to blow anyone's mind, but it is a fun little experience. My number 7 is going to be the older title I mentioned, which is Riverside. Riverside, a roll and write game that I got a chance to play for the first time, and I liked it. It's kind of just like, you know, piloting a little, not piloting, you're on a little like cruise ship or whatever it is, going around, trying to stop at various locations. But the scoring mechanisms did lead to an interesting puzzle of a game as you try to figure out how to score as efficiently as possible as you go through it. So I liked it. I enjoyed Riverside. I'm excited to play that one more. I don't actually have a copy. I need to track down a copy now. But Riverside was a fun little roll and write game that it's always been on my radar for a while. I just never got a chance to play it until now, and I liked it. So that's going to be Riverside. Number 6 is going to be Trio. Trio, which is previously Nana. You can expect a review on that one soon. That one, well, there's a few of these you can expect. A bunch of the Pax Unplugged games you can expect reviews on soon. But Trio is a game of trying to come up with sets of 3. Ultimately, it's a bit of a go fish. You're going to have your hand of cards. You're going to ask someone, can you show me your lowest card? And then you ask someone else, can you show me your card? And usually, lowest and lowest. And then if you get a match, you can keep going until you get a set of 3. But if you don't get a match, you stop, but everyone else at the table has more information. So it's a bit of a memory game, a bit of a go fish, but ultimately a fun little experience. I enjoy Trio. I think it's fun, compelling, easy to play. That's my number 6. My number 5 is River Valley Glassworks. This is an upcoming title from Allplay, illustrated by Andrew Bosley, designed by the team who brought you Motor City. River Valley Glassworks is ultimately a Azul game. It's not an Azul game. It's a Azul-like experience in terms of you're collecting various glass beads and you're trying to collect them in ways that will score you as many points as possible by the way you line them up. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to play it more. I really want to play the 2-player mode because personally Azul I like best as a 2-player experience, and I think that will hold true for River Valley Glassworks as well. But even at 3 and 4, I really liked it. It gives me the scoring system I get from Sub-Astral, a small little renegade card game, but with a whole lot more game behind it. And so I'm excited for River Valley Glassworks. Well, excited, I already played it. I played it several times actually. I'm excited to play that one more. My number 4 is going to be Chomp. Chomp is a dinosaur game also from Allplay, but Chomp is a delightful little experience that I got a chance to play for the first time at Pax Unplugged. It's ultimately just laying cards on top of each other, trying to make sure you feed your dinosaurs, both the carnivores, the herbivores, scoring points through a variety of other ways, and you have every single card has its own scoring mechanism on it. But I really enjoyed Chomp and excited to play that one again. Well, I've already played it again. I'm excited to play it again and again and again. I want to try the solo mode. There's also an expansion. I don't know if I'm as excited about the expansion. I already read the rules to it. It doesn't look that interesting to me, but either way, the base game as is, I really enjoy, and I'm excited to play it more. I like Chomped a lot. Then number 3 we have is How to Save a World, I believe is what it's called. I actually wrote down on my little piece of paper over there How to Save a Life because that's the name of the song, but How to Save a World is the name of the game. How to Save a World coming to you from KTBG. This is an upcoming title in 2024, and it's basically, the thematic aspect is how to save a world, but ultimately, it's a worker placement game with Euro mechanisms and tableau building as you try to figure out where to put your energy into different ways of saving this world, and depending on how the world gets saved, that will affect the scoring. So it's a little bit of just a standard Euro game, but a little bit of almost stock taking in the sense that you kind of want to play into what others are going for and or feel you can turn the tide yourself because of the different ways that you can save the world. Interesting aspect. I did not finish the game, to be very clear. I liked this game a lot. I really enjoyed How to Save a World. I'm excited to play it again. I also played half a game. So take that into account. In general, when I'm excited about something, you have to take into account if I have one play, half a play, things change as time goes on, so we'll see where this one ends up, but after, you know, a few rounds of play, I want to go back to and play this one again. I really enjoyed How to Save a World. Number 2 is going to be Defenders of the Realm, Legends Reawakened. I don't know the name of it. Legends something. It's the new Defenders of the Realm coming to you from Greater Than Games. This one, I played the original Defenders of the Realm back in the day, and so I was actually not as excited for Defenders of the Realm now, because I liked the original, but I didn't love the original. I thought other cooperative games were better or more to my taste. And Defenders of the Realm, they made a lot of changes to it, even just visually on the show floor. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to play it. It was one of my I want to play this before the convention is up games. There's a few that I missed in that category, but this one I did get to. With Defenders of the Realm, I really enjoyed the things they've changed to the experience from the original way back when. The game gives you a bunch of heroes with that feel unique, feel interesting to play through. You have your own deck of cards, you have your own abilities. You also have a darkness mechanism that as you do things in the game, it pushes more enemies to spawn. And so the whole game is a bit of a push and pull as far as what's going to happen first. Are you going to power up enough and take down the bosses, or are they going to overwhelm you? And those two levers are effectively the things that push you in one direction or another. I really enjoyed Defenders of the Realm. I'm excited for the crowdfunding campaign. It was a lot of fun, very much to my taste. And then my number 1 play easily of the convention was Creature Caravans. Creature Caravans coming to you from Red Raven Games. This one is not yet available. It was in crowdfunding. I think you can still late pledge. I'm not sure. But I really enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun playing Creature Caravans. I sat down for a demo, meant to play a few rounds, and then just kept playing the whole way through until the game was over. It gave me a full Red Ravens game experience in an hour or less. It gave you, very rarely, I think one of the issues with Red Raven Games is their games can often be too long or not rewarding enough. It's usually one of those two categories, at least for me. Meaning the smaller boxes are good, but they don't give me as much out of it. And the bigger boxes are incredible, but they take more time. To me, Creature Caravans might be my favorite game from them because it landed in that hour slot while also being incredibly enjoyable to go through. It's simultaneous play, so whether you're playing with 2 players or 5 or 6, it won't extend the game that much, but I really enjoyed it. You're ultimately moving around the board, trying to be efficient with your actions, trying to move around, trying to build up a tableau of cards, a little bit of Everdell, you know, in there in the sense you have a limited number of cards you can build, but how you build your cards, how you equip items to your characters, all of that's going to give you a lot of room to play around and be efficient, but ultimately it's all about trying to make the most you can out of those 12 rounds of play. I want to say it's 12 rounds of play, but I might be mistaken with that. But 12 rounds of play, I really enjoyed it. Great tableau building, great speed of the game, easy enough to teach and play, very rewarding, and a ton of replayability just based on the cards I saw and the way you can the way you can do things. I think there's a ton of replayability to the experience, and so that's going to be Creature Caravans, my number 1. And those are my PAX Unplugged highlights. There were a lot of games at PAX Unplugged. I walked into the convention not really being excited for a lot. I walked out of the convention being excited for a bunch, playing a bunch that weren't even on my radar, and overall having an excellent time. And so these games are my well, I already said it, but my favorite PAX Unplugged experiences. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one.